Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Blockgen channel, and we are live again, doing another live stream here today, second day in a row we're doing this, and glad to have you. So, right after we closed our live stream yesterday, things started to go downhill quickly, and so I'm going to bring you up to date real quick on what happened yesterday, and a lot of news, a lot of potentially very bad news, and most of it pretty much overblown as far as I'm concerned. So the market cap today, we're sitting at 400 billion, with Bitcoin still at around 168 billion, and we're still around 42% market dominance. Bitcoin down about 7%. Since yesterday morning when we were on, and still in that long-term downtrend. When we got off the live stream yesterday, things hit the fan pretty quick. We dropped about $1,000 over the next hour, hour and a half ish, and we'll talk about why that might have been, but you know, we finished the live stream about 9 o'clock, something like that, 9 o'clock, 9:30, and less than an hour and a half later we were headed down fast. And as you can see, though, we did bounce off of the daily low resistance. We did not reach 93.2475. We bounced just a little bit higher than that. The low yesterday was 9,400, and we've been as low as 95.10 today. And obviously Ethereum followed to the downside with this equilibrium pattern going on, and we broke lower and dumped pretty hard, and we're staying down there right now. So, you know, what caused all this? A couple things happened yesterday right after we got off. One is the SEC issued this statement basically warning exchanges that are operating in the United States that they were illegal unless they registered with the SEC, and they would, you know, they would need to register either as national securities exchanges or as alternative trading systems or broker-dealers. And so, you know, the looming possibility of additional regulation caused a lot of fear yesterday. Additionally, there over the last few months or so, this was found on, I found this on Twitter yesterday, and there's been some reports about it, and we talked about it a little bit briefly. The Mt. Gox trustees selling large amounts of Bitcoin to repay creditors, and basically it looks like they've been transferring this money from the wallet to exchanges and selling it over the last, since December, basically December 18th to February 5th. These wallet transfers were made, and some good research here, timing these transfers up with the graphs, and basically what we see here is just before most of these, you know, just before some of these major downdrafts, some of these major dumps, we see these large amounts of Bitcoin being transferred and being sold by the trustee. Or, you know, it doesn't say that they were sold at these times, but you can assume that they were sold soon after they were transferred, I think, pretty safely. So that's at least one explanation of why there's been significant downward pressure on the price of Bitcoin over the last 2 months. And additionally, yesterday we had a pretty big scare too. Right about the same time, people started talking on Reddit and on Twitter about having all of their funds disappear, and the, you know, hashtag Binance hack, you know, was a trending topic, and so that certainly didn't help things with respect to Bitcoin and altcoin prices yesterday. It looks like what actually happened was some accounts, people had fallen for some of these phishing scams, and they'd provided their account information to a fake website that had been created that looked like Binance, and so what would happen is you'd enter your information and then get transferred to the real Binance site. And so these people had been apparently had been phished, and then what happened was the phishers went in and created APIs and used trading bots to basically sell all their altcoins by Viacoin, and then they created a large buy order at 0.025 Bitcoin for Viacoin. I'm sorry, a large sell order at 0.025 Bitcoin for Viacoin, and they sold into that. They sold into that extremely high sell order, and then transferred that Bitcoin, or tried to transfer that Bitcoin off of Binance, and basically, the CEO of Binance here, tweeted that they noticed some irregularities, and that their automatic alarms were triggered, and they believe some of the accounts were compromised by phishing, and they have since reversed the trades, at least according to the Binance CEO. They went and reversed those trades that weren't allowed, and they had frozen withdrawals to prevent the hackers from getting away with those funds and being able to withdraw them from Binance. So it looks like most of that was taken care of pretty well by Binance. But I mean, this is just really a great reason, a great reminder. A, don't give anyone your information. B, make sure that you're signing into the right website. C, use two-factor authentication. I don't know if these people were using two-factor authentication, but if they were, it seems like it would be much more difficult for this to occur, if not impossible. And 3, don't keep your coins on an exchange. This is one of the reasons why we need these decentralized exchanges, but until we have good decentralized exchange solutions, a lot of them are coming down the pipe, but, until we have those, for God's sake, keep any money that you want to make sure that you can get to keep. Any money that you're not actively trading, get it off the exchange, get it in a wallet, and store it there, where you have access to your own private keys, and never give anybody your private keys. Additionally, we had this I thought was relatively minor news, but it occurred around the same time yesterday, and was reported about the same time as these other events. And the Japanese Financial Services Agency, basically they announced that they were going to suspend a few exchanges and punish some other exchanges, and require them to basically bring up the quality of their exchanges, their protections, including the CoinCheck exchange, which had the $500 million worth of NEM stolen back in January. And so they're basically requiring, they're requiring them to meet certain minimum standards, and regulating them from a positive standpoint. I don't see this as negative news in the least, but given that it came out all at the same time, you don't know how the market's going to react to things like that. And additionally, somewhat related to that, CoinCheck did announce that they're going to start compensating customers that lost money in that $500 million NEM hack, and so they it doesn't look like it might not be full compensation, but 81 cents per token that was lost. So that's positive. But again, don't keep your money on an exchange. Do not keep your coins on an exchange unless you have to have it there for active trading. I know it costs money to transfer it in and out, but it's a lot better than losing all of it. And unless you're really, really an active trader, there's no need to have it sitting on an exchange at all. And then finally, we had this during this whole atmosphere of regulation and fear yesterday. We were also having this blockchain conference in here in Washington D.C., the D.C. Blockchain Summit, and a lot of people in government talking about regulating and the possibility of cryptocurrencies and blockchain really assisting, mainly blockchain, really assisting in helping some of these government programs and really trying to integrate it into the public sector. And there's a mix of talking about utilizing and regulating. And overall, I think it wasn't as bad of a day yesterday as people made it out to be. Certainly, to me, the worst news of the day yesterday was the SEC statement. I think that that statement really shows that something's going to have to be done by these exchanges in the United States. And you would think that Coinbase has been working with regulators from the beginning and trying to comply with everything that's required. And I'm a little bit surprised that they weren't notified or asked to do this ahead of time. But I'm sure that they will comply with whatever is required of them. And other exchanges will either have to comply, or if they're not based here in the United States, perhaps they will ignore it for some time until they're blocked in one way or another from doing business here. But that's the way I see it today. Hope everybody has a great day, and we want to make sure we're sitting here still in the high 9,000 range, around 98.20 right now, and just keep an eye on that 93.2475 level in the BTC USD on GDAX and Coinbase. If we break that, we would be creating a new low in the recent pattern. So currently, what we see in this pattern here is we had the high back a few weeks ago, and we made the low at 93.24. We made a lower high a couple days ago, and we have pulled back near the bottom of that prior low, but we are making lower highs and higher lows, and it looks like at least right now we are in a little bit of a consolidation pattern with this sideways movement, but we're here sandwiched between the recent low and this longer term downtrend over the last few months, and we're really coming to a point here. It looks like a couple weeks out of absolutely no doubt making a decision at the very longest, and probably just a week or even a few days from either breaking this support here from the recent low, or breaking out of resistance, long-term downtrend resistance here. So like I said, hope everybody has a great day. Keep your stop losses up, and keep your money in your own wallet. Don't give anyone your private keys, and have a great day. We will see you tomorrow.